Ben Duckett. He's got into trouble
Mr.
for
Duckett.
some comments that he's made in the media. What, I mean, let's look at these comments. What did he say? Okay, so let's just find this. Jaiswal's comments. Let's see.
So in a way, he's complimenting. He's in this comment that you're going to read. He's complimenting Jaiswal, but it's a bit cheeky as well. So when you find it, yeah, just go ahead.
Yeah, and like, look, this is what Duckett says. He goes, when you see players from the opposition playing like that, it almost feels like we should take some credit that they are playing differently than how other people play Test cricket. Um, what are your thoughts, Vinay, on this? Taking credit for
look,
Jaiswal's 200.
look. I don't know about taking credit for Jaiswal's 200 because that was all Jaiswal, right? I
Apparently
feel
not.
like
Apparently it was all Bazball.
I feel like what Duckett was hopefully trying to say is the way that they have played cricket. Uh, world cricket has changed slightly as well. Like, not just taking credit for Jaiswal. I feel like maybe he should have said it in a way that because they play attacking cricket, it sort of changes how the other team slightly plays as well. Like they play slightly more attacking cricket as well against them. Like not in general, but like against them because they know that a result is more likely, right? If England is
I would,
going for it, we might be able to get them out quicker as well. Like what we saw.
I would agree with you, just not for that. Not just not for Jaiswal, because Jaiswal was playing like this for a couple of months now, right? In all formats, this is how he plays, and this is how he's been taught to get runs. And a lot of that comes from the IPL, not Bazball. And
Yeah,
I mean,
but the one thing that Duckett can take credit for is, the way the way they were playing. It gave the Indian bowlers a sniff that they could get all 10 wickets on that day
yeah,
four, and they did. So thanks, Duckett.
yeah, there's that too. I mean, it inspires a lot of the bowlers when the England batters are just trying to hit at everything. And look, they're competent from everywhere. Nasser Hussain, Michael Vaughan, they've ripped them apart. Nasser Hussain has said that, oh, yeah, Jaiswal hasn't learned from you. He's learned from his upbringing. Yeah, if anything, you should look and learn. So that's a pretty strong comments from, uh, you know, uh, from Nasser saying there to Duckett. But like, and look, we've seen them cop it here in Australian media, especially. I mean, Australians love it when the England's team really stuffs up like this, and
Oh yeah,
I've seen
like
everything. They've been copping it.
like just for an example here, like Johnny Bairstow, he's still copying it, like from Australian media. Like every time he gets out, it's plum and he reviews it. Oh man, he is copying it left, right, and center from the Australian media. But
I wouldn't talk if I was Australian media. Yeah, the Australian did have Shane Watson who reviewed everything. So, so there's that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's not good for Ben Duckett, unfortunately.
yeah,
But
I think
we'll move on.
Jaiswal, before we move on, sorry, Jaiswal, like we said, we have to attribute it to his skills. Like he
Yeah,
didn't just go out there and smash it. He built his innings when he got closer to 100. And after he got to 100, after that, of course, he did have a bit of a break because he did get injured.
yeah.
But when he came back, he just, he tempered his game to the requirements of what in that situation of that session was needed. So they needed quick runs, and he went for it, and he did well. So I think that's the most important thing is he knows how to build the innings as a youngster, right? As a young player, you think,
100%.
oh, they're just going to go out and smash it. But he's got the temperament to build an innings and then continue, which is the biggest thing. So,
Yeah.
hats off to
Well, he's
Jason.
got a strategy of when to attack and when to defend, because defense is part of cricket, right? Duckett, but yeah, it's unfortunate for Duckett too. But we'll move on.
Who, by the way,
So
played pretty well as well. Like
he
he
played
also
well. He got
scored
100.
runs.
So I'm not
Yeah,
shitting too much on Duckett. He got 100, but
some of his
just
comments.
some of his comments, yeah, he's some rethinking. So what on earth is going on with Ishan Kishan? like, well, we haven't talked about this on the podcast so far, but Ishan Kishan after the World Cup has gone down in a spiral, and I just don't know what the situation is. I mean, we've seen him take leave after the World Cup. He was pretty hurt by, obviously the loss and not getting picked as well. But it seems like he's gone down in some sort of spiral, and he's asked for time off, and then missed the South Africa series, missed the T20s, missed a lot of it, and everyone's just been left wondering what is going on, like with this guy. And then we
Well, I
hear
mean,
rumors that like his contract is to be axed, like he's not going to be part of the BCCI contracts anymore. Um, and he was meant to go play Ranji if he wanted to play in the IPL, which is Jay Shah put out. A friend of the show, Jay Shah, he put out basically a memorandum saying that you have to play Ranji Trophy to
mm,
play IPL. If you're an Indian player, you have to. And he didn't. He missed his game and apparently has been training with Hardik Pandya.
who I thought was injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
But but it's interesting, like sort of something that's also leading into this Ishan Kishan situation. We also have to congratulate. It sort of gets a bit lost in the hype, but we have to congratulate Dhruv Jurel as well, who debuted in that last
Oh, yeah,
test
true.
as well, and I feel like he played pretty well as well. But I feel like Ishan Kishan, if he was there, he would have been playing these tests, right? If he
100%.
was, he would have played South African tests, and he would have been in this team for the matches against England. Something has obviously gone on after the World Cup. There, I feel
Well, something
after
like
the
to be
series.
honest, something's gone on during the World Cup, I believe, right? He's obviously got pissed that he wasn't getting picked, and he has a right to be a little bit pissed because he was performing before the World Cup and he was performing quite well. But at the end of the day, because of India's system of rotating players, sometimes even rotating teams when it comes to one days, he had to make way for seniors. This is what I keep saying. Like
And
this
I
system that of different teams, like us playing two series across the world, like I don't think is the way to go. Like this is what is pissing. I'm guessing Ishan Kishan off is that he performed so well and didn't even get a look in the World Cup, and then
well, I
now
believe
he's angry.
from what I'm reading, like it all sort of came to the front when the beginning of that South Africa series. Um, they selected in the squad Jitesh Sharma as well, who's a great player. I've seen him play
Yeah,
in 2020, and it was for the first couple of 2020 games. He plays for Kings 11. He
yeah,
played really well, so he deserves a chance as well. I feel like India at that stage were trying to see all of their options, like for all of their players that they have, to see if they can progress in that scene. And maybe Ishan Kishan sort of wanted that role for himself. Like he feels like he's done enough to cement that role. But T20 is such a game where you're going to have people coming in and out, right?
yeah.
Where he should be cementing his spot is in the test team and then the one day team and then the T20 squad, right?
And
His
the thing
focus
is,
should be test.
in the test team, there is a gap. Rishabh Pant is
There
not
is.
there. We're going to talk about Rishabh Pant later in the podcast, but he's not there. India's been so trying with KS Bharat, but
And
there's
that's
an
the
opening
hardest
right
thing.
there for a
That's
wicketkeeper, and he just didn't take it.
and that's the hardest thing because Rishabh Pant played so well, right? He was the main wicketkeeper for India. Now, he's obviously in recovery and he should be back soon, but that whole period after he got injured up to when he's going to come back, there's like whoever comes in for Rishabh Pant knows that, or in the back of their mind, they know that they could just be the replacement until Rishabh Pant comes back,
Yeah.
and that's it. They're finished, right? They shouldn't be thinking like that. They should be thinking, I can excel in this role and I'll make it tough for Rishabh Pant to come back in the team, right? But I feel like the way they have, the way Rishabh Pant has played before, the excellent player that he is, I feel like people have that stigma that he's just going to walk back in the team, right? Which he should
Yeah.
because he's a great player, but he has to score runs as well, coming off a big layoff. But I feel like Ishan Kishan, like he stated mental fatigue, right, for
Yeah.
needing a break, um, which is
And then he was
obviously,
partying in
the reason.
Dubai, which was not a good look, right? If
Yeah,
you're having mental fatigue. And
that's right.
yeah, I
And
mean,
then
I just
after that, you're training with Hardik Pandya of all people.
who has a better reputation these days? But yeah, it's just like, yeah, I wish him the best. I mean, we're obviously worried about his career at the moment. Like, he's not in the good graces of the BCCI. How he
Hopefully,
rectifies this. I mean, all the comments from Rahul Dravid, from Rohit Sharma is that they're waiting for him. Like, they're waiting for him. Like, yeah, obviously, yeah, he's got a lot. He's going through a lot, but they're waiting for him. And I don't know. He just hasn't. I don't know where he goes. But I hope
yeah.
they
And
sort it out.
there's a lot of things that happen behind closed doors, like we
Yeah,
don't know about. Like, hopefully, everything does get sorted. Um, the best thing for him is to get back into cricket and just play cricket and score runs, right? And this was a chance, I guess, with the Ranji Trophy for him to get back and score runs. Like, I don't know what's happening there, but I hope it's not just practicing for the IPL because of money, because
yeah,
that's where the money is, and that's pretty bad if that's the case. But um, he just needs to go back in, play cricket, score runs, right, and then
yeah.
increase his chances. Otherwise, he's going to miss out. And once you miss out with the Indian team, it can be very difficult to get back in.
It is. You can ask so many players that were
Prithvi Shaw.
sort of pretty sure. But yeah, it is very hard. But I mean, wish him the best, and hopefully he comes back stronger.